Prelude to Astral Warriors, Part 2. Hello again. Thank you for being here with me once more. I hope you are very well today. I am Marie. Hello, welcome to my channel. This information can be seen as science fiction, or as the viewer sees best, and I post it for entertainment purposes only. Still, I take my information very seriously, and for whoever has eyes to see. I am writing this on the morning of September 30th, 2024. This is the second part of this subject, so I strongly suggest you watch the first part as well, as I provide a lot of needed context there. This information describes how I see, understand, and experience the astral, and it may or may not coincide with the points of view of other people. Yet I strongly argue that the very nature of the astral dictates that each person will experience it with the lens of his or her own understanding and level of conscious awareness. Therefore, I do not invalidate the different experiences of other people, and whatever they say about my perspective on this subject does not concern me. From my point of view, there is no material world, as it is only a very compelling illusion based on the perception locking of a soul onto only understanding reality through a very limited body and its senses. The material world is also being generated by the series of agreements people, souls with a similar vibration share, therefore they see and interpret the energy that surrounds them in a similar, yet never identical way. That energy that surrounds them is the world they interpret as where they are living in, yet that external world is also an illusion and a mirror manifestation of their own thoughts and interpretations, which are no other than their vibration. One of the peculiarities of the material world, especially on Earth, is the synchronization of the perception of the souls which are in it. This is due to experiencing time and its duration in a more or less similar way, and this is achieved first with the planetary cycles of day and night, and then in detail by the use of clocks and watches, which act exactly as a metronome does, in music, to synchronize the perception of the entire population under its influence. Ultimately, there is no material world, as the body itself is an illusory and direct manifestation of the vibration of its soul, as is the rest of the illusory material world it is in. Everything is astral, and everything is in the astral. There is no matter, as such, as each particle is nothing but a concentration of energy which is held together through standing waves, which are being generated by harmonics of a frequency, emanated by thought patterns of the consciousness which is experiencing itself as a sentient unity, while being source itself as well. I can also describe the astral, at least some parts of it which in frequency and vibration are closest to the existential range we call the world of the living, as also being material realms, as there, a person, a soul can also experience objects, distances, and having a body. This body is often described by other people or authors as the astral body, which I can describe as a lighter version of the hard, slow and pasty material one in the world of the living, yet also subject to the same principles and reasons why they were both manifested, as the direct materialization of the idea, concept of self, and identity, of one or another particular soul. This astral body is what many encounter, or describe as ghosts, and this is why many look like the body they used to use when alive. Notice here how most disincarnate people often will look like the best versions of themselves, when young for example, as this is their most prevalent concept of self-identity, yet this varies from subject to subject, therefore when a ghost or an apparition is encountered and it looks older, or younger, it is because its astral body is reflecting the shape, form and age it is most identified with, and has its strongest attachments to. This is why it is important to shed all those attachments while alive, and leave aside that stubborn self-identification most people have with the material body, as that idea of them being the body, and only a biological body, is what keeps them trapped in the material realms, therefore reincarnating constantly and chaotically. As with this way and mentality, they have little to no control over their own self-image, and what is being materialized and manifested from it. Each place or realm in the astral has its own rules and laws, some of which may be similar to those of the material world, as it is only another astral realm. Those rules and laws of each astral realm obey the very same principles as those in the world of the living, meaning that they are all realms which are being co-manifested, shaped and formed by the souls who experience it, who dwell in it, and mainly as the result of agreements of perception among those souls. The astral realms can also be called the ethers, and the unity of source is the blending of all of them into one mighty mass, which fades duality away. All the subdivisions in the astral are only subjective, and based on the ideas of those souls there, and the range, extent, and quality of those astral realms they live in, will only be a direct likeness of their own limitations. Strictly speaking, and as I have said before, there is an astral realm, a density, and a dimension for each sentient soul, as they are nothing other than its own reflection. You observe an existential realm, and you are seeing into the most profound corners of the being or beings which manifested it, and into their deepest unconscious. Once you are aware of all this, and not only on a frontal cortex level, but deep inside your being, and you take for granted that you are a soul, and an entire realm, you start to gain a lot of freedom, as the tragedies of life, and all its difficulties stop being so dramatic, and you become aware of your own internal manifestation, and realm manifesting power. You no longer identify yourself with the body, as you fully and deeply understand you have one, but you are not one, although it is also a direct manifestation and reflection of your thoughts and unconscious. This is where you can start to dissociate yourself from the information that is coming into your awareness through the biological body senses, and you start to listen to other much more subtle perceptions, many would say are coming from the spirit world. This is why many people who have had a near-death experience, those we can say have cheated death, open a perception pathway into the astral realms which are most according to their thoughts, ideas, and vibrations. It is like a barrier has been broken with them, but it is more like a learning, a direct result of them experiencing the side of the spirits, and remembering it when they return to their body, when reanimated, like in a hospital ER room. On Earth, but not only, there is a strong veil of forgetfulness, which strongly imposes upon the souls who reside there, a feeling and an experience as if what is in that material realm were all that exists. After a near-death experience, or another similar one with similar results, the person, the subject with a soul, relearns that the material body and the physical realm are not all that exists. They may start to cross over to the astral in many ways, each one being particular to them. They can start to see astral animals, entities, things, and people, including disincarnates with much ease. They may become mediums, or sensitive people who can notice things others cannot. What each person, each soul experiences while crossing over to the astral will logically depend on their vibration, which is their thoughts and emotions. Therefore, what one person experiences may or may not differ from that of another. A soul can only see and experience itself, therefore the astral realm, or realms it can perceive, will only be its reflection. This is why people who strongly believe in one or another religion will literally manifest an astral realm which matches their vibration, and therefore, their expectations as well. This can be, and is dangerous in many ways, because it strongly corroborates their belief systems and religions, which then they may want to fanatically impose upon others, as if it were an ultimate truth. When in reality, each person, each soul, will have its own truth, because it is only a mirror of who they are. This is why there may be a heaven, and a hell and all the names of the variants in between, as those are only the manifestation, and the reflections of the souls within, but they may or may not apply to other sentient beings with a soul, who are also manifesting very different things and realms. It is each soul's decision what they will experience next, a heaven or a hell. It is who each soul is, what it believes in, its vibration, its ideas, ethics and values, which determine their existential realm, on the side of the living, and the spirit side as well. Therefore what you actually do, is what counts, not what you say you will do. You are what you have done. In life what you have experienced, and what you have learned is what counts, and what nurtures your soul into more needed expansion, and not the empty accumulation of material objects and wealth. Yet wealth helps you gain freedom and material objects, and those also hold a great spiritual value, as they too provide an enriching life experience, if that is what a soul wants, therefore a lot of learning comes from that as well. I see the demonization of material objects in spiritual communities to be linked with the desire to escape the ego, as more matrix spiritual control prevents good people from gaining freedom and independence from the oppressive system on earth, with this also stopping them from acting and working against the establishment. The secret may reside in a healthy balance between the experiences provided by material objects and the value and importance of other non-materialistic practices. Ethics and priorities come in here, where wealth and material objects should never be prioritized over anything sentient, and with a soul. This subject will continue. This was a prelude which is needed to fully understand what I will say and describe next in Astral Warriors Part 3, or else it may seem like a simple acid trip, if I don't describe in detail where all that is coming from. This will be all for today. As always, thank you for watching my video, and for liking, sharing, and subscribing for more. It helps this channel grow a lot. And I hope to see you here next time. With much love and appreciation, your friend, Marie Swaruu.